When someone asks which anime film captured the most attention in Japan in 2025, the answer is immediately obvious: Demon Slayer. There's no need to ask further. This film has become a phenomenon, breaking record after record and making history. It's currently among the top 5 highest-grossing films of all time in Japan, with a real chance of climbing to be number 1. Another film that captured the public's interest was Detective Conan. Before Infinity Castle came out, this movie was the biggest hit of 2025. Its success was impressive, placing it in the top 20 highest-grossing films in Japanese history and making it the number 1 Conan movie ever released. But in contrast to these successes, there was another anime film that caught the attention of the Japanese public in 2025, but not in a positive way. While Demon Slayer was celebrated as a historic box office hit, this film became one of the worst performing anime movies of the year, and possibly of all time. Ciao, directed by Yasuhiro Aoki, produced by Studio 4C, and distributed by Toei. The story is set in the near future world where humans and mermaids coexist. It follows Stefan, an ordinary shipyard employee who suddenly finds himself proposed to by Ciao, the princess of the mermaid kingdom. Though initially confused, Stefan begins living with Ciao and gradually becomes drawn to her pure and sincere affection. The narrative unfolds alongside their cross-species romance, exploring themes of destiny and the challenges they face together. The film seems promising. Many in Japan praise its animation, calling it top tier. Studio 4C, while not widely known, has a history of producing visually stunning works like Children of the Sea. They've also contributed to projects like video game Catherine and the upcoming anime adaptations of All You Need Is Kill, which I personally am excited for. Technically, Ciao's animation is impressive. It reportedly consists of 100,000 frames. For context, most Studio Ghibli films have roughly 50,000 to 60,000 frames, and Demon Slayer Mugen Train has about 80,000 frames. The staff behind Ciao clearly had ambitious goals, especially considering the film was in production for 7 years. It's this high ambition that makes the movie's failure such a hot topic among anime fans in Japan. The failure was evident from the start. Within the first 3 days, it only drew about 10,000 viewers across 300 theaters, and many theaters pulled the film within a week. Despite a reported budget of 1.5 billion yen, the film has only earned about 30 to 35 million yen in revenue. For comparison, Bubble, another original anime film that opened in around 300 theaters, directed by Araki, written by Gen Urabuchi, with the music by Sawano, all-star team, and produced by Wit Studio, with a massive budget, it only earned about 1 billion yen. That was considered a flop. Though it was also released early on Netflix, which partly explained its poor theatrical performance. Another comparison is Poppin' Q, often cited as the legendary worst anime box office performance of all time. 200 theaters, smaller than Ciao, and grossed around 56 to 60 million yen. Ciao couldn't even surpass that, cementing its status as possibly the worst performing anime film in Japanese history. So why did such a high-budget, ambitious anime fail? Japanese audiences have pointed to several factors. Despite a decent budget, the film was poorly promoted. A few trailers were released on YouTube, but beyond that, marketing was weak. Being an original work, Ciao didn't have a manga or novel to attract fans beforehand. Moreover, neither the director nor the studio widely known to the general public. Studio 4C may be recognized among anime enthusiasts, but not by mainstream audience. In contrast, a film by Ghibli, Ufotable, or MAPPA would naturally draw attention. For example, The Boy and the Heron, despite minimal promotions, gained a widespread interest simply because it was a Ghibli movie by Miyazaki. Even though the animation was praised, many viewers found the character design strange and hard to watch. Some might get used to them, but at first glance, the characters appear unusual and even creepy. This was likely a major reason audiences didn't engage with the film. While the visuals were impressive, the story was considered ordinary. Ciao, inspired by The Little Mermaid, didn't captivate audiences the way they had hoped. To make matters worse, it released while Demon Slayer Infinity Castle arc was dominating the theaters. Although Demon Slayer has a relatively simple story, its visuals, music, and animation were spectacular, and it had a strong promotion and a huge built-in fan base in Japan and even globally. In short, the primary reasons for Ciao's failure were its unappealing character designs, weak promotions, and unfortunate timing. The film hasn't been released outside Japan except in Taiwan, where it also failed, making it unlikely to succeed internationally. An interesting fact, Ciao actually won an award at the 2025 Annecy International Animation Film Festival before its release, showing that the film had potential. Yet reality told a different story. Now all that remains is to see if streaming platforms might help the film find its audience over time. Ciao serves as a reminder that even with high ambitions and technical skill, success in the anime industry requires more than just impressive visuals. It needs strong promotions, relatable characters, and a compelling story. While Ciao may not have achieved box office glory, its journey offers valuable lessons for future anime productions. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the future.